This is Knox Street Studios Tech Bridge, where we together work on our technical know-how and productivity. Today what we're going to do is we're going to go back and check out lists. We're going to do a couple other things because lists are just so important in any program language and also important, of course, in Python. Let's get right to it. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name. So let's file save as, and I'm going to call it Tech Bridge 02. I just add a B on, or A. So because we're really just adding to it, but I do want to be able to go back to the other one if need be. All right. Okay. So now that that's done, what I'd like to do is do a quick recap. So what we did is we created a list at the top, right? And then what we did is we did some of the, and you know, I should have had comments here. So let's do that. So create list, right? So then this comment, this prints the list. I'll say display list. Wait, I gotta make this bigger, don't I? Hold on, give me a sec. All right, that should be big enough. All right, so now, and again, you make the comments because you may not touch a program for a little while, and when you come back, you want to quickly remember, what was I doing? What is this chunk of programming doing? So, so I should have did that, but I didn't. And so then this prints specific elements, right? So let's do that. First and second item, let's call it item or element, either way, of list, right? And then I did I did add that. So add, so I did say add to list, and then the pop does the remove. All right, so close enough. And then what we did is we printed it one more time, right? Up here, we printed it kind of in the raw form. And then down here, we actually went through a loop and printed it. Okay, so now what I want to do is, right now the list is just a list of names, right? What I want to add is I want to go back and add into specific locations, all right? And then I think I want to do that, and then I want to do just the last three names. So I'm going to do what's called a splice, right? So first, what I want to do is I want to add the hometowns of all of the people that we have on the list. And then we're going to do a splice. And I think that's all we're going to try to get done today. All right. So and we're going to do that before we print it the last time. So we'll go in there, and what I need to do is I need to get a list of the hometowns. So let me do that. All right, so I have a really long group of statements. And so you can do that. And so what I did is I put triple quotes around it for all that, what right now is just really, really raw data that I'm going to change as I add the hometowns to the list. All right, so the name of the list or the object that we're working with is sum of the greats. And then we're going to use dot notation, dot insert, and then I think we need to do brackets. And then we need to add the location. So this is in position 0, because remember, everything starts with 0. So let's put this in position 1, comma, and then because I have 2 commas and because this is a string, this needs to have quotes around it. Okay? So now it's either brackets or parentheses. I don't remember which. So, and you need to add a space after your comma. So it's not giving me error. So let's roll over to the screen and take a look and see if I have it right, or do I need to change the bracket notation? All right, so I slid over there to check the first one and it gave me an error. And so let's change it. And let's slide back over there and see if that's right. And then if that's right, then I'll come right back and then add all the other ones. Yes. Okay, so yes, that's correct. So now what I need to do is I need to insert all the hometowns in between. So that's in position 1. So that's 0. That's now 1. This is 2. That would be 3. So it's going to be on the odd, right? So it should be on 1, 3, 5. All right, so the last thing that I just added, and I needed to move some stuff around because I forgot that the final print was at the bottom. I erased those comments that I had. I moved under the final print using the loop, the statement. So first I put the comment, print the last 4 people in their hometown. I then put a little statement, this is the last 4, right? And then what I did is you don't even have to use, it's print the name of the list that we are working with, and then you do the bracket, and then you put the element, the first element. So a couple of ways you can do the splice. So you can put just the first element, and then you put the colon, and if there's nothing behind it, it'll print all the way to the end. If you want to start at a specific element, you leave it blank, if I'm not mistaken, and then you put the element, and then it'll print from there all the way. I think that's right. I tell you what we need to do is go look at some documentation, and let's pop over. We'll do 2 things. I will pop over, show that this actually works, and then we'll pop over and look at documentation to a couple of other methods that you can use on list. All right, so I'm gonna call up the name of the file, Tech Bridge 02A. All right, and what you see is you see the raw list without any hometowns. You see the first and the second where we selected those elements. You see the full list when we actually did the for statement. And then finally what you see is this is their hometown, and you see Regina, her hometown, Octavia, her hometown, etc. All right, so that's all in working order. Last thing we're going to do is pop over and look at some of the things that to help you with the list. Okay, so all I did was type in Python list, and W3 schools popped up, which is good. And what you see here is what are some of the methods that you can use on lists. And remember, we did this with strings, we did this with numbers, and this is certainly not the only reference that you can use, but this is some of them, right? And so what you see is we did that last time. We printed that last element. You do the -1. This is what we just did. The print the third. In this case, they're printing the third, the fourth, and the fifth element. So, right. So if you want to print from the beginning to a specific element, you do empty, semicolon, and then the element you want to print from. And then again, we just did this example. You can also do negative range, which we didn't do, and then you can change the value. So and we did that. No, we popped. We didn't do that. All right, excellent. So that's a really brief recap about some lists and some other things that you can do with lists. Thank you for checking out Knox Street Studios Tech Bridge today, and I'll see you next week.